Before we get started, I just want to say, don't listen to me. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a trained professional. I'm going to do things how I do them, and it just works. But I don't want you to get hurt by listening to me and taking my advice. So with that, proceed with caution. Well, now that you've gone through all 5 parts, you should have all your pins setting straight up and down. Shouldn't have any issues. Shouldn't be wobbling or anything. The last thing you want to do is this, to adjust the pins to where they're sitting right on their spots. This is what you're hoping to see when you get done. This is what it should look like. All your pins on spot, except for that 9 pin, it's a little bit off. Everybody else is nicely on their spot where they should be. What you do next is loosen up. There's a post on each side, right by the 4 and 7 pin bucket and the 6 and 10 buckets. You'll see a big Allen bolt sticking on the top. Should be an Allen. Later pin setters, I'm not sure. The one I have is an Allen. It's a 1/2 inch. So you got to have a pretty good size Allen wrench to get into that. And the nut on the bottom is a 1 inch. So you need a 1/2 inch Allen wrench and a 1 inch wrench. You might be able to just put it, if you don't have a 1/2 inch Allen wrench, put a pair of vice grips on it. And then you can get a wrench on the bottom and loosen it if it spins. You might be able to loosen up the nut on the bottom and tighten it without it spinning, but you're probably going to have one or the other, an Allen wrench or a big pair of pliers. Let me show you what that looks like. Looking at it from the side here by the 7 pin bucket, if you look real close, you got the Allen bolt right there. And down here, right by your cables, is a big 1 inch nut. There's also another one hiding right up in there, kind of hiding between the deck shield there, but you can kind of see it. What you want to do is loosen both of these up. This post is slotted. You can't see it on this because this is for the pin finders, and a lot of people have already taken it off, but this is sitting in a slotted area right here. You loosen this up, and then depending which way you need to move your deck, you can just, loosen those up about, half turn, 3/4, something like that, and just grab the deck and move it. You might have to get, a crowbar to kind of help, slide it over a little bit, or just pulling on it will do it. But loosen it up and just trial and error and run your pins through until you have them sitting right on the spots, not twisted, crooked, or anything like that. And then when you get done, tighten these back up. It won't throw your adjustments off or anything else you've done up to this point. So just loosen those up, manhandle the deck. It'll slide around a little bit. If you hit your limits and you can't get the deck setting where you want them, you're still off spot and you're maxed out, you might have to loosen up the feet on the pin setter frame and scoot the frame over. If you have to tweak it, you can loosen this, like mine's a 3/4 inch here. You don't touch the Allen bolts on the side. Just loosen this up here, and you can get a hammer or something and wail on this a little bit. Loosen up the other side because you can't move one side if the other side's tight. So try to get this, scoot this over a little bit. See how it's slotted? I'm all the way to the right now. So if I needed to go over more because I can't get it as far as I need to by the 2 bolts on the deck post, I can scoot mine over that way. But real quick and easy, all you gotta do, loosen those 2 1/2 inch Allen on top, 1 inch nut on the bottom, and just slide the deck around a little bit, get it to where you need it, tighten it down, run it through another cycle. It won't throw any of your adjustments off that you did earlier. So everything should stay the same. But just, slide the deck around, get it, and then once you get it where it's setting the pins right on spot, tighten them all 4 down. You want to loosen all 4 up before you try moving one side because the other side won't let you move unless you have those loose too. So loosen all 4, move it around how you need to get it positioned just right. Tighten it down. Once you get it set, tighten them down good. You're good to go. And that is the last video in the series of making your pin spot really well on your Brunswick A and A2 pin setter. Hope you learned something from it. Hope you didn't get hurt. And hope your bowlers appreciate the pins being on spot. And hopefully it'll reduce your calls at night. Not having to do respots and outer ranges when it's sweeping pins off. Things like that. And your gearbox will last longer because you don't have, hopefully you don't have that big gap in that deck lowering hook, and you're, minimize that so you don't get that bounce. You see a deck going up, then it comes back down to set pins and it's bouncing. Gap's too big on the 2-to-1. Watch the earlier video, adjust that. Any other questions, comments, let me know here in the garage, and we'll be doing more videos. Thanks always for watching.